On this week's episode of Bayou TV, we're on a search for one of North America's great animal success stories, the American alligator.
We take the responsibility of having that wild animal in captivity very seriously.
Once nearly extinct, these prehistoric reptiles are one of the most iconic species of the southern United States.
Alligators are not on the endangered species list, and they're certainly not in short supply out here.
We travel by land, water, and sky
I'm going to show you a gator nest right here.
to learn how sportsmen, alligator farmers, and landowners go on a hunt for gators.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Global Outdoors. Find your next adventure and share your experiences with others by downloading the Global Outdoors mobile app or visiting globaloutdoors.com. Every day, we strive to preserve traditions that have spanned generations.
Around every turn of the bayou, Mother Nature reveals unique people, places, and experiences.
And the bounty of animals and fish. Well, in Louisiana, we just call that lagniappe. I'm Don Dubuque.
I'm Chris LeCoq.
I'm Captain Martha Spencer. Join us as we document the adventure,
Sportsmanship.
And heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
From a small egg to a mighty beast, alligators are big business.
It's almost like livestock because we get the eggs from somewhere else, and we ranch them just like livestock.
And in Louisiana, that species is thriving. On a previous episode of Bayou Wild TV, we learned that the success of the American alligator is directly related to highly regulated farming, management, and hunting practices.
They said you're required by law in 1985, 86 to return 17% of the eggs that you hatch in the form of a 4-foot alligator back to the marsh. Well, that worked so well that the return rate was reduced in 1999 to 14%. In 2007, it was reduced to 12% return rate. And today in 2018, we're returning only 10%. And today we have 700,000 alligators in captivity and over 3 million alligators in the marshes of Louisiana.
He gone!
One down.
We have an overabundance of alligators. Right now, the farmers are struggling with some legislation in California that bans the possession of alligator products. 30% of the luxury alligator market is sold in California, Rodeo Drive. So there is a demand for alligator products, high-end products. Alligators are not on the endangered species list, and they're certainly not in short supply out here.
Yeah, the alligator industry, not only for the farmers, and there's also people out there who just collect eggs, who have relationships with these landowners, and they make money for their family off of it. It's a huge revenue for Louisiana, but not only that, it's a revenue for sport fishermen, because Louisiana now has sport tags available in several different places, but the state's then able to sell a license and sell all this stuff, and people come in from out of state to stay in our hotels, they eat at our restaurants, and it just brings so much more revenue into the state. And so much awareness to this program that we're really proud of. The program's actually been used worldwide as a model for sustainability.
Right now we're at Delacroix Island. We're with Barry Walls, and we're completing phase 2 of alligator egg collection in the airboat out in the marsh. All right, let's get them.
One of the reasons why Double D has been around for 50 years is because we are consistent with what built the business. And we go to great lengths to make sure that when you bring a deer or a hog or whatever it may be, your meat stays your meat all the way through the process. But we want to be as true to the original intent, which is a local meat company. And that's something that we want to maintain for as long as the Lord lets us do it.
We're in our new season of Bayou Wild TV, and that means new merchandise. Head on over to BayouWildTV.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and performance shirts, featuring scenes taken directly from our shows.
There's no better way to serve perfect crawfish than with King Cooker's wide variety of high-jet burners, boiling pots, straining baskets, seafood paddles, and check out King Cooker's special serving tables and trays. Make your seafood boil party easy and perfectly tasty. Find a retailer near you or go to kingcookerwithak.com and use discount code DDKK23 and save on your King Cooker products. That's kingcooker.com, discount code DDKK23.
An unlikely start to our quest for alligators takes us not by boat, but rather by sky, soaring over the marshes of South Louisiana.
I'm gonna show you a gator nest right here. And here's what we do. Like if you were gonna mark that one right there, I'd come into it like this, and I'd get right over the top of it, and he'd mash the button. And it would show a flag on there that we just found one. And we'd do a grid. Let's just say I wanted to do this pocket right here. And then sometimes there may be 100 acres out there. And then I'll do a 180, but I'll see this one right over here, so I'll go ahead and cheat and get in.
From this perspective, locating an alligator nest is not an easy task to the untrained eye.
Because a lot of times, when the grass is high, you got to go real close together and you be right over the top of it. Now see, if you'll notice, I'm up higher right now because of the trees and you just have to be.
Yeah.
But this, I won't get any higher than this.
This type of practice has proven to be the most effective in pinpointing the location of gator nests on the ground and maximizing the time spent locating and collecting.
My grandpa trapped wild alligators from the day that it became legal, you know, and from there we all grew up trapping wild alligators. Well, when the state started issuing farm license back in the 80s, my grandpa was one of the first few to get one. Eventually, my uncle kind of took over, and when he did, the farm started growing and growing, and it's grown now into a rather large deal for us, and we don't have time to do anything else.
My mother started, our first egg contract was for 1,500 eggs, and I'm gonna say that was mid-80s, 85, 86, and we picked up 1,500 eggs. And I believe we released about 90, 75 was the first year we did this.
But you know, from 86 on, it's become part of our life and to some extent all of our life.
Let me show you something. See that nest right down there? There's a gator and all you can see is her nose sticking out of her hole. Not scared of us yet.
For an alligator farmer, there's a small window of opportunity to successfully collect and harvest alligator eggs.
From the time they lay to the time they hatch is about 90 days. But now you're dealing with weather, you're dealing with rain, hurricanes, just everything's against you, so get in there and get out.
The industry has blossomed since we first started. There's alligator farms stretched across the coast, and last year we were permitted to 50,000 eggs, and I think we came in right at 47,000 eggs. So it's been a constant involvement of the program.
So whenever 80% of the nests are down, we'll come out and we'll fly. We'll mark them with a GPS. We'll come back with our boats, and we'll just start collecting.
Coming up next, you may be surprised to learn the number of alligator eggs one rancher can collect in a single day. What you're looking at are some rare, endangered, purple-spotted alligator eggs. No, not really, but it's a very important reason why they're dotted.
Delta Marina is Plaquemines Parish fishing one-stop. Get live bait, fuel, ice, tackle, and marine supplies. Then launch into the world's most productive saltwater fishing. Return to the fishing cleaning station, relax in first-class cabins overlooking the bayou, all in Delta Marina's safety video-monitored parking lot. Need a fishing charter guide? Delta Marina can hook you up. Cook your catch in your kitchenette or dine in the upstairs restaurant. Visit Delta Marina for a day or a week. Stop in just off Highway 11 down Rosemarie Drive in Empire. Visit thedeltamarina.com.
We love our children. We protect them. We guide them. We prepare them for life in the world. With all that we do, from deep in our hearts, we cannot control all things. Life-threatening illnesses and disabilities affect far too many of our children each year. While we cannot change the circumstance, we can make dreams come true. Dreams to provide hope, to provide spiritual healing and strength, to provide moments of happiness and relief in the hardest of times. We can give a glimmer of light and hope in a time of darkness and despair. Join huntofalifetime.org to help make dreams come true, to provide hope for children with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Hunt of a Lifetime is a nonprofit organization fulfilling dreams for hunting and fishing trips to youth 21 and under with life-threatening illnesses and disabilities. Visit huntofalifetime.org to learn how you can make a difference.
Continuing our pursuit for alligator eggs, A Day in the Marsh also provides a lesson in the challenges of navigating the industry.
I've been on airboat as long as I can remember. I tell people these alligators to us and to our family are like dogs and cats to most people. It's what we were raised doing. Way back in the day, it was a challenge to find this. My grandpa and everybody else back then, my uncles would just ride in the swamps at home. You ride around and they got really good at it. Well, as the industry grew and as we got bigger in it, we can pick up 8,000 to 10,000 eggs in a day. What we do when we get to the nest, first thing, you have to be really careful when you open it, because the thing with the alligator nest, if you turn it over from the way she had it and when it started to grow these bands, we call it, that's how we tell if the egg is alive. But it's really important, however you find them in that nest, to keep them the same way when you transfer them. If not, it'll kill them. We try to use as much natural grass as we can from the mom's nest. We'll put it in there and just kind of secure them where they don't move around a lot. But she'll come back, she'll rework the nest. I've actually seen them on years that it was dry, carry water up to the nest in her mouth. Their husbandry skills are better than ours most of the time.
Pretty good parents.
They really, really are. Well, we mark the top of them just in case there's any kind of deal, on the road or in transport or while we're setting them where they get turned a little. We'll be able to know which side was up and we can turn them back.
Much like managing cattle, chickens, or any other livestock, ranchers find similar passions when harvesting alligators.
It's almost like livestock. We bring them in and it's actually called alligator ranching because we get the eggs from somewhere else, you know, and we ranch them just like livestock. We go in there, they're looked at every day. We feed them twice a day. You know, we have to keep our hand on what's going on with them, and we have to raise a quality product or we don't make any money. We can't feed our family. But also we take the responsibility of having that wild animal in captivity very seriously. You know, we use every single part that we can, and we're careful not to waste anything.
This is the first time I got to actually participate in the egg collection. I tell you, it's fascinating, and one of the most impressive things is the way that they use technology today to go up in the helicopter with a GPS, identify where those nests are, and then pinpoint the airboat to get there for the collection part.
But we still not reinventing the wheel. You still got to find the nest, you got to go to it, you got to talk sweet to mama, you know, rub her behind the ear and get the eggs. Tell from the brownish color they've been underwater. This nest was here before, but these eggs, the bands are still consistent on all of them, and they're consistent with what we've been picking up.
In theory, you want to pick up every egg that you can, because in the wild, the baby alligators are going to be eaten. When we first started, we estimated that of all the eggs that are laid out there, 17% might make it to adulthood. So that means 83% of the eggs are going to be part of the food chain.
Just from the general look of this nest, what would you say about the eggs as far as how many you'd expect and how good they might be?
I'd expect, it seems like an older gator because you can see from the green growth in it, this nest has been here a little while. She's worked it, but you also see the green grass on top that's not attached, it's not growing. That means she's reworked it lately. She got this nest built really early from the way the vegetation's growing back in it, and she came back and reworked it. She's just a good mama, you know. She's come back a few times since then and reworked it, and she's protecting her babies.
Let's hope she ain't protecting them while my head's down.
Hopefully she's out making groceries. You know, we get our eggs from out here. Yes, we stock our farms with them, and we're so grateful. But also, through the return policy, the program through the state, we bring alligators back out here. So in essence, we're helping. You know, it's just like I said, the sustainability of our industry depends on these alligators. So we're kind of, you know, it's a hand-in-hand deal, but we absolutely could not do it without the landowners.
We have an overabundance of alligators. Our farmer hatches typically about 90% of those eggs. So if we pick up 50,000, we're going to hatch 45,000 little gators. And we're going to return close to 4,500 alligators every year. Consequently, in the wild season, we were permitted for 685 gators to remove. So if you start to do the math, if you put back 4,500 and you only take out 700, sooner or later you wind up with more alligators than you have habitat for. And I think we're getting pretty close to that right now.
Nobody's been able to duplicate a decent hatch rate in captivity. So it takes landowners like Delacroix Corporation and like some of the other big landowners all the way across the state who cooperate with us, and through our program, the sustainability of the alligator species has been remarkable.
The alligator is probably one of the biggest conservation comeback stories in the history of North America. I can remember a time when you hardly saw an alligator. They were on an endangered species list, and then they went into a very forceful and impressive program to not only protect the ones that were there, but to also exacerbate the reproductive process to where they replenish the species. And this going out and collecting eggs, bringing them in until they hatch and grow to a size where they're past the peak of predation, It's just been a wonderful impact on alligators. There is no shortage, and as anybody knows that's from Louisiana, there is nothing anybody from outside Louisiana wants to see more than a live alligator, especially in its natural habitat.
Yeah, you know, the alligator industry, not only for the farmers, and there's also people out there who just collect eggs, who have relationships with these landowners, and they make money for their family off of it. You know, it's a huge revenue for Louisiana, but not only that, it's a revenue for sport fishermen, because Louisiana now has sport tags available in several different places, but the state's then able to sell a license and sell all this stuff, and people come in from out of state to stay in our hotels, they eat at our restaurants, and it just brings so much more revenue into the state. And so much awareness to this program that we're really proud of. The program's actually been used worldwide as a model for sustainability.
Coming up next, our quest for gators takes us across the state line, where new opportunity provides a challenge for hunters in South Georgia.
Yeah, alligator hunting's relatively new to me, and actually even new to the area. The last couple of years has been they've opened up an alligator season in this area, and the river that we hunt, been running it for 30 plus years, and up until the last 10 years we haven't really seen alligators in this area. But over the last 4 or 5, we've actually seen an explosion of the population.
I'm Meredith Pelche from Thibodaux, Louisiana, and I won this boat from CCA Star in their raffle drawing. I love to fish, probably since I was about 5, 6 years old. Oh, I'm very excited. It was totally unexpected.
I'm Gracie Reisman. I recently won a talent award at Miss America for clogging. It's a pretty unique talent, so the Louisiana propane dealers asked me to tell you about some unique safety features about your propane tanks. First, they are certified for 12 years. After that, you must have them recertified or replaced. If you make any changes to a home unit, you must have it inspected by a certified propane dealer. And that's the law. Find out more at louisianapropane.com.
In Louisiana, food brings everyone together. These are the flavors that make friends out of total strangers. The flavors that remind you of home. It's the meals you crave, that take time, that show love. Because in Louisiana, we cook. And we know that when we come together to cook and eat, life gets better. So pull up a chair, leave room for seconds, and pass a good time. Because life needs Louisiana flavor, baby.
There's no better way to serve perfect crawfish than with King Cooker's wide variety of high-jet burners, boiling pots, straining baskets, seafood paddles, and check out King Cooker's special serving tables and trays. Make your seafood boil party easy and perfectly tasty. Find a retailer near you or go to kingcookerwithak.com and use discount code DDKK23 and save on your King Cooker products. That's kingcooker.com, discount code DDKK23. Historically, Louisiana and Florida might be the 2 top destinations to see and hunt alligators in the U.S. But as the species continues to thrive, other southern states are providing opportunities for hunters hoping to hook on to a monster.
Alligator hunting's relatively new to me, and actually even new to the area. The last couple of years has been they've opened up an alligator season in this area, and the river that we hunt, been running it for 30 plus years. The state and local governments have actually determined that there's a large enough population in this area to actually open this zone for alligator hunting.
Here in southern Georgia on the Ocmulgee River, it's gator season.
So growing up on this river, primarily started off running limb lines, running trot lines on the river, which kind of progressed into building catfish boxes, doing some noodling. I've actually done an alligator hunt in Florida. I've never been able to alligator hunt in Louisiana, but it is totally different.
Hunters here do not have the luxury of baited lines, so it takes a master of the spot and stalk to successfully harvest a monster gator.
You want to find an area that holds a big alligator, and then it's a little more difficult hunting him and waiting him out. That means of securing him would be, snare hooking him, harpooning him with a bow and arrow, so forth. You can't actually bait him, set a line for him, or set a trap for him. In my experience, the last couple of years, I ended up buying a Hummingbird Solix unit with side imaging, which really helps with locating an alligator if he actually dives to the bottom. Sometimes they'll crawl. So with our rules and regulations, and being that you have to snare him, you have to use the tools necessary to retrieve that alligator. It's kind of hard hunting this weekend. We did get one up to the boat. I think he was in the 7-8 foot range. That's not exactly what we're wanting. We've got several that we know are in a specific area, and I'm sure that in the next couple of weeks we'll get it done, and we'll get a big alligator on the line.
We've only scratched the surface on the alligator industry and the opportunities for hunters to harvest these fascinating creatures. We will continue our gator adventure on another episode, this time joined by a few special guests ready to experience their first ever South Louisiana gator hunt.
Mais comment ça va, everybody? It's me, DJ Rhett. It's about a 4-footer right there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 feet. I actually thought it was going to be more, like involved, jumping the wall, Tarzan, but it's actually pretty, it's like fishing. It really is. It's just you got to have strong biceps to get that thing in the boat. This wasn't in my contract, man. I came over here to have a good time. Now I got to work on this. I got to get my mechanic skills out. I mean,
you know how to fix this thing?
Yeah. Help! The engine's got saved! Help!
So be on the lookout for more adventure, more sportsmanship, and more heritage for another journey of Bayou Wild.